Hello, blessed souls. Welcome to my channel. I'm the magical medium. I provide spiritual guidance. I'm a universal traveler. I've been learning so much about myself. I know a lot of you have been with us for a long time. When I say us, because this channel is not just for me, it's for all of us. A lot of us have been together for a really long time, and we've all been evolving and changing together. But I have to tell you, I've been really retreating a lot lately because I realize I'm a multi-dimensional traveler, and I've been doing this for a long time. And also, we're going to talk about a lot of things. There's a lot of stuff coming through right now, but today our pick a card, because it's going to be just one card per quote unquote pile. We're going to be working with the Mind Body Makeover cards by Mona Lisa Schultz. She's Dr. Mona Lisa Schultz, actually. So I don't know what they're going to have me put down, emojis, numbers, I have no idea. But if you are just chomping at the bit and you want to go to your reading, go right down to the description box below and look at the timestamps, and you can choose your card, your pile. I think there's going to be quite a few. I haven't done a reading like this in a while, where we're just doing kind of this maverick kind of thing where you're not going to look at the pile. You're going to go by pure automatic, like what your gut tells you, because this full moon in Virgo is not playing. It's a really beautiful, heavy energy. Also, we're dealing with two feminine energies. The Pisces and Virgo are both feminine divine energy. Plus, we're talking about a full moon, and the moon, Lilith, is a feminine energy. So we've got a lot of feminine energy. And I'm channeling a lot of energies right now. I'm really excited. They've just been talking to me. It's going to be a little bit all over the place. So if you want to stay here for the reading for the collective, stick around. If not, just like I said, go down to the description box below, and I'll see you over in your pard. Yes, because it's your pile / card, your pard. I'll see you at your pard. maybe we'll coin that. Anyway, yeah, I'm dancing with cannabis. I'm dancing with the divine feminine. There's a lot going on. So I'm going to pick the cards as I go. Like, I'm literally going to pick the cards as I go. And it'll be like, oh, thank you, card 1. Thank you, card 2, And also, I want to give a shout out. For some of you, I've been talking a lot about Grandma Rose, right? Right? I was like, right? So today, when I was setting this up, this beautiful owl here with the roses on its chest. This is from one of our divine tribe members, Anna. Thank you, Anna. She sent this beautiful owl, and she's been talking to me for a while, but she's been kind of quiet, and I wasn't sure what was going on. And I've been hearing Grandma Rose, and I've been saying to you guys, do you guys have any Grandma Rose? Come to find out, I guess I have a 5th generational grandmother ancestor. So she's a grandmother energy, but she's an ancestor from like 5 generations back, named Rose. And it could be for you too. Maybe you have a Grandma Rose as well. Maybe that's why we're connected. Maybe we were all connected in that lifetime. But anyway, she just came through today, and we were talking about a lot of things. We were talking about old souls. We were talking about just energies. And she wants you to look up the Rose Spirit Medicine, or look up Rose Spiritual Meaning. You might want to get a pen and paper. This is going to be a beautiful, intense reading because, as the title says, I don't know exactly what it's going to say, but I do know that as I was putting this together, 2 songs played back to back. One was The Flow of Let Go, and then the next one right after that, I shit you not, was Letting Go. And I was like, all right. And then I heard, yes, that's right, this full moon, right? Like, we get to the pinnacle of the full moon and we're like, woo, everything's awesome. And it's like, whoa, this full moon has been no joke. It's so provocative and just really emotional. I don't know if you guys are feeling that, the Pisces energy, because, you know, whenever you watch this, they're timeless, of course, but in real time, it's March 18th. I actually stayed up last night because where I live, it was going to be at its peak at 12:17 a.m. So I'm like, if I have the energy, I'm going to do our pick a pile then. I was so excited because I haven't done a reading late in a while. And then I was like, I love my overambitious self that thinks that I'm not included in this time change week. And you know what I mean? Just like all this energy that's going on the planet right now. So, yeah, I thought that was really interesting. So I said, okay, well, how do we want to do this? And so I ended up doing a reading for myself with the Moonology deck about something I've been, I wouldn't say scared because I don't like to use that word, but you know, just kind of like not sure how I want to do this thing or where I'm going to put it or how I'm going to start it or what's going to happen. And I just sat with spirit by myself, and the house was really quiet. It was really nice. And then Bubba was on my lap, and I said, Bubba, we got to get up. You know, she's my familiar, for those of you if you're new here. She's my cat. But she's not mine. Bubba's our own, you know. So I was like, come on, let's go look at the moon. We went out and we looked at it. I took a little video. I'll probably post that in shorts or something. It was just a little, but I just looked at it and I felt this transformative energy. I felt the divine feminine. I literally did. Like I felt this wash over me of this kind of, you know, yummy feminine energy, you know, like where it's that very, you know, you just want to drink it up, eat it up. It just felt kind of good. Now, the interesting thing was it wasn't super bright. It wasn't super fancy. I'm not going to put a filter on it. You know, it just was what it was. But there was something about it. And it was the way it was peeking through the trees where I live. And it was cloudy. I live in the Pacific Northwest. You know, so I started to look at the moon and I was talking to the Virgo energy, thinking about the Virgos that I know, you know, thinking about how we get how Virgos themselves are described as compartmentalized individuals, or their thinking, or their, you know, look at that, right? I'd be interested to know. That's my neighbor that is not my favorite. I wish them well though, but wouldn't that be interesting? I wonder if they're Virgo. That's interesting. They could stand to use a lot of divine feminine. Talk about, oh, that's like the other side of it. It's like such heavy masculine where it's like, you need some feminine I don't know what happened to you, you know, and I'm realizing this. So thank you to my neighbor. Then my neighbor's actually been such a great teacher to me. And I must tell you that I know that they're kin, so to speak, where I know some of the people that live out there. And it's so funny because I asked one time, I was like, you know, who's the person with the dog in the truck that drives by in that loud old pickup truck, you know, which I cannot believe they don't get, you know, a ticket for that noise. But anyway, and she literally, I won't say his name, but she literally went, I'll just say a name that's not his. And she goes, Steve. Just like the way she said it. And she was like, yeah, he's a friend of my dad's. And I was like, oh, you know, but isn't that interesting? But she's super awesome and cool, but she's placed there for a reason. It's like we realize now, all of us, I think we're all starting to look at things in a way that, you know, we need this balance of the divine feminine, the divine masculine. You know, Virgos need that. They need balance. You know, it's interesting because I know Libra's all about balance of the scales and all that, but I feel like Virgos too. And now, mind you, I'm talking about the Virgo energy, right? Because I can't speak to all Virgos because, right, everybody's moon, sun, you know, ascending, it really, really makes a huge difference. So, but when we're looking at the dimensional frequency of Virgo, it is this kind of, you know, that's why we have them in the zodiac, right? We need them. The ones that are going to be fastidious, the ones that are going to be careful. You know, if they have heavy Virgo in their chart, it's like we need that. But at the same time, sometimes they can go overboard. You know, have you ever noticed that, you know, they go one way or the other? A lot of Virgos, they're either really, really tidy or they're hoarders. Think about that. And usually the ones that are hoarders, it's because there's like a mental dysfunction that's happening inside of them. So right now, I feel like spirit is, you know, we're at the end of winter. For some of you, the end of summer if you're in the Southern Hemisphere, because I know some of you are on this channel. Thank you for being here. It's so cool that we have that. You guys, I'll tell you, sometimes I think, wow, it's so fucking cool. Like how many people we have in this tribe that are from all over the world. So I love you so much. And thank you for being here and for donating and contributing and supporting and keeping it going. You're keeping the dream alive inside of all of us. And that's what we're here to do. We're the wayward warriors. We're the light workers, the way showers. That's what we do. That's what we're here to do, is to put that foot forward, And in order for us to do that, we have to get out of this old mindset that was put in us. You know what's interesting? I just noticed too. Look at Mona Lisa right here. Look at how her her heart chakra is sparkly. They had me shift the candles in a certain way too, So in fact, one of my candles is about to go out. So when it does, we'll see what happens there. But I love when they play with the lighting like this. But even here, it's like, doesn't it look like the witch in her cauldron? She's got an owl on her shoulder, and then she's got a wolf down to her right. I kind of it's interesting that it is a wolf, but sometimes when I look at it, I feel like it could be a cat too. So I feel like take that to whatever interpretation. But we're going to segue into that because the divine feminine is here to help us correct all of this heavy masculine energy that has put this fear-based ego inside of us. I love this deck because it's no bullshit. It's like you're basically dealing with the ego and your higher self. And we're going to get to that. But I think what's happening right now is that there's this spiritual inclination that people are like, oh, you're spiritual, so you must be this, you must be that. I remember one time having a conversation with a fellow light worker about being an old soul and past lives and all these things. And over the years, I've had so many different thoughts around what an quote unquote old soul is. And then today, as I was channeling this reading, I got this message from Grandma Rose, and she was saying, an old soul is any soul that is connected to the divine. It's not like, oh, I lived 20 lives, oh, I lived 50 lives, or, that's a fucking very human-based thinking of competition or deflection, right? Oh, you must need that many lives, or oh, I only needed one. It's like, right? It's like ego, man. She's a bitch. But I'll tell you something. We need her to survive, and I'm gonna put it in a feminine energy of the ego right now because it doesn't matter if it's masculine or feminine. Right now, we are dealing with the feminine side, and I don't know how each card or each reading is gonna go. Thank you, Spirit. But we are divinely protected. I'm feeling such an awesome energy. I'm excited to dive into this. But before we do, I do have one card that is raring to go. But before we do, Spirit asked me to have us all close our eyes. Me too. Okay. They're asking me to get my bell. Okay, close your eyes. And I keep your eyes closed, but this is so cute. One of our spirit guides right now that's very awesome is like, you can ring my bell, ring my bell. That song. I could go high right now, but I'm like, no thanks. Anyway, so it's not too serious, but yeah, there's some serious shit that's going to happen. That's why some of you are feeling a little anxious. They're saying that's okay. Close your eyes, keep them closed. Breathe in, breathe out. Release all that holds you back. If that hurts your ears, that's okay. It should. If it doesn't, it shouldn't. You know what I mean? You're exactly where you're meant to be. Don't read into it. And they're saying, when they're saying don't read into it, they're saying meaning like we have good days and bad days. So do not keep your eyes closed, keep breathing. Cry if you need to, drink some water if you need to, that's okay. Yes, release, shed, release, release, release. That's what full moons do, right? They illuminate everything. You can't hide anything, right? The Virgo energy wants it neat and tidy. But it wants you to face your fears, face your ego. And Pisces is begging you to open yourself wide. We're almost at the end of Pisces energy. Aries season is just a few hours away. I mean, honestly, it's a few days, but you know what I mean? We're close. We're also going to have the change of the guard from winter to spring, and from summer to fall on the globe. So take it easy. We love you. We are with you all the time. Slight bell, slight bell. Yeah, you're okay. You got this. Release it. 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 Spirit blew all your troubles away, because our troubles are self-inflicted. Even if we are in a place of peril, it's hard to even imagine that people that are at war right now agreed to be where they are, but they did. They're warriors, right? Fighting the good fight, fighting for peace and justice. Spirit says, thank you so much for praying for peace, all of you. We see you, we hear your prayers. Know that everything is unfolding exactly the way it's meant to. Exactly the way it's meant to. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep focusing on yourself. It's not selfish to focus on yourself. We need you to focus on yourself because you are here for a divine purpose. Everyone is here for a divine purpose. Your energy is best suited in the elevation process. Uplifting, joyful. Many at war, in conflict, have been putting on their social media, please keep doing this. Do what you're doing. We like your videos. They make us laugh. Keep doing that. No more sorrow, no more peace. We're fighting it. Do what you came here to do. Do what you came here to do. And don't fight it. Don't fight it. Release, let go. You're being so tough and so strong. That's okay. That's okay. But you can let go. You can release now. You don't have to hold on to that anymore, precious. You don't have to hold on to that anymore. Kumbaya. Sing it. Find it. Look for it. Listen to it. It's not corny. It's an homage to peace and love. To uplift us out of suffering. No more 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 suffering. Witness me, Spirit. Heart chakra. No more suffering. No more suffering. Kumbaya. 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 I invoke the power of the universal healing energies on the planet. I thank you for healing myself and anyone who is watching this video who will accept this healing. Thank you for healing us from the inside and the outside. From the inside out and the outside in our auric field, all within, healing our chakras, balancing our chakras, all of the healing energies of the universe. Thank you for loving us, healing us, watching out for us. Thank you, blessed full moon in Virgo. Thank you for this release energy. Thank you for this divine prayer. Thank you for grounding us. Thank you, archangels and dragons and unicorns and gods and goddesses and ancestors. Those who walk before us, those who walk after us, and those who walk with us now. As above, so below. Thank you, Sandalphon. Thank you, Metatron. North, south, east, and west. Thank you so much. Raphael of the east of healing. Thank you. Michael of the south of fire, protection. And I love you so much. Thank you all so much. And to the west, communication, Gabriel, water. Uriel to the north, grounding, connecting us to the earth, and releasing us of attachment. And a shout out to Raphael for air, earth, air, fire, water. Thank you all for being here today. This is one hell of a reading. Thank you so much. I am so blessed to be a part of this. Thank you so much, Spirit. Thank you all for being here. They are all here. Everything is ready to go. Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh. Mama needs her smelling salts. Hold on. Whew. I needed a minute. That was intense, but awesome. Oh, I hope you guys enjoyed that. That was so amazing. By the way, Janis Joplin just came in and she's like, oh Lord, won't you buy me a Mercedes Benz? My friends all drive Porsches. I must make amends. How does the rest of it go? How does it go, Janice? Hold on. She says it doesn't matter. She was just singing to me. She was just like, because I was just like, it was really heavy. I, you know, sometimes when that comes in, you know, I'm an empath too. So it's like physically exhausting. By the way, when I stopped this, it was at 2150. So that's our angel number is 2150. I need to write that down right now. Angel number 2150. Welcome, you guys. Oh my gosh, this is so rad. I'm very excited. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for being a part of this tribe. I love when we do readings like this. It's been a minute since we did one like this. My voice is a little coarse because I've been doing a lot of work on myself and just working in my zone, in my creative space. And so today I just feel so excited to talk to you about this because this Mind Body Makeover deck has really helped me, has really shown me the way. And I'm going to tell you right now, it is no fucking bullshit. Oh, by the way, I'm going to try a new experiment. I'm going to see if it works. For some reason, I love swears. They don't bother me, but sometimes, I don't know why, but it feels jarring. So I'm wondering if it's just a little jarring to my soul or if it's just the energy. So I've been watching the Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt and falling so in love with her tenacity. And so I said to my partner, I said, I think I'm going to start trying to use cute words as swear words, like especially when she's so mad and you can tell she's so mad and she's like, I'm so fudging mad. You know? So I'm gonna try that and see if it works. If not, you know, maybe I am just gonna be the forever, you know, sailor mouth, as they say, speaking the truth. I am a triple Sag and my moon's in Scorpio, so I come by it honestly. Okay, so welcome, 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 welcome. Card number 1. So how this works is we've got the nice little Mona Lisa here on the back, which if you've never seen her in person, I highly recommend you do. There really is no describing it. She really does follow you everywhere you go. It's like she's alive. It's freakish. I really believe that she is alive. Like I think there's like a part of her energy that, but I think it was mutual. I don't feel like it was stolen from her or taken from her. So that's why I feel like today there's like this strong energy from Mona Lisa, this like everlasting power. And when we were talking, I hope that you watched the beginning of this. It was really amazing. I was channeling a lot of cool stuff. We did a lot of cool stuff. But I was talking about, sorry about that, how this energy right now is all about the divine feminine, because we're working. Oh, and by the way, the Blue Jays came through earlier. So if you haven't seen some of the recent pick-a-piles that I've done, I checked them out. I don't remember. If you look in the description box, I think there's like a blue bird in one of them. So it gives you a little emoji, for the pile. But anyway, the Blue Jay really wants to speak to you. So your card number 1, the Blue Jay spirit animal, is definitely for you. It may come up in other piles, but for right now. So we're going to talk about a lot of stuff. So much is happening right now. So I'm just going to let it happen. So in this deck, they have little, sections. Like, see on the top here, it says Living in Society number 5. So you're card number 1, but 5s are all about change and transformation. And today is actually the 5th cycle in the moon cycle of the month. The full moon is the 5th cycle, which I think is interesting, right? Because we're at the brightest point, but 5s are all about change and transformation. And usually change and transformation happens when we get to that point, right? When we're just like, it's at that, I can't take it anymore. I gotta change. I have to change. And I feel like that's where you guys are. So one side of the card is your higher self, and one side of the card is your ego. They had me show you your higher self first. So your higher self is saying, my unique voice is an authentic part of the life force that needs to be expressed. But what's holding you back, what you need to release, is this is the voice inside of your head saying, my voice can't be heard. What I have to offer doesn't matter. And Spirit saying, yes, absolutely what you have to say matters. Absolutely what you have to say matters. If you didn't have anything to say, if what you said didn't matter, you wouldn't be here. And you definitely, most definitely, without a doubt, would not be in this tribe. So if you have been doubting your gifts or doubting who you are, I mean, look at Grandma Rose wants to talk to you. Owl Spear Medicine. So you may be somebody who know this already about yourself, like you're really connected to the bird animal, like the bird spirit medicine. Maybe all the corvids talk to you. The crows, the ravens, and the jays. So with you guys, I mean, right there, it's like all 3 of those birds are very vocal. Very, very vocal. And the wise owl is here to tell you, like, you have something to say. You are wise. You are old. Also, I'm feeling like they want me to move this over for you. I get this feeling like you're not comfortable having the spotlight on you. This isn't for all of you, but I get the feeling you don't like having the spotlight on you. And Spirit's saying, that's okay. You don't have to have the spotlight on you all the time. It's about, that's the whole point of the mind body makeover, right? Let's see. I don't think we're going to pull any more cards. I think we're just doing 1 card per pile, but we'll see. You want to pull any more cards for this one? Oh, so maybe we are. I thought they said we were going to, let me just do a confirmation. Are we going to pull more than 1 card per pile, Spirit? Okay, so I digress. I guess it is. Okay, we're going, maybe this went in a different direction when we went into that prayer. Oh, yeah, we channeled some really intense old energies from the ancestors. It was really cool. Okay, so listen. Spirit is saying that they want you to connect with this mantra. Now this is from Living in Society 1. Okay, so I'm getting what's happening here. We've got 2 living in societies here. Do you see this? We've got 2 living in societies. So you know what that tells me? That you're empaths, and it's really, really difficult for you to live around people, to be around people. And Spirit saying, because when I heard when I was reading my unique voice is an authentic part of the life force that needs to be expressed. When I was reading that, I actually saw somebody like doing something from their home. So whether it's a podcast, a YouTube channel, whatever it is, but I'm getting like you can have a voice without being around people, right? That doesn't make you shallow. It doesn't make you weak. It doesn't make, you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't make you anything. That's just who you are. That is your physical, chemical makeup. It's okay to get out there and be around people, but if you know that you can't, that's what the 5 is. That's what the change and transformation is. Because look at this is number 1. Living in society 1. That's 1 solo by yourself. I can still feel good about myself even if someone is angry with me. Okay, so I'm getting you guys are too concerned about what you look like. You know what? A challenge for you could be something like doing something you would never, ever, 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 ever do. Okay? Because this is the voice in your head. The voice in your head is saying, I easily get scapegoated in my family and in other relationships. So you're even there. That's you telling you, and if that's true, then get out of that dynamic. Why would you stay there? I easily get scapegoated in my family and other relationships. If that's really true, then why would you stay there? Because you can still feel good about yourself, even if you walk away from these people that make you feel bad about yourself. Just because they're your family and friends does not mean that they're meant to be in your life. They may have only walked with you for this long. It could be until they wake up too. Because if you found yourself here, you're here for a reason. Also, another thing I want to talk about is, it says my unique voice and stepping out of your comfort zone. Some of you may be playing a part, a role that you've been playing for so long that you don't even know who you are or what you'd be without it. And what I'm getting from Spirit is, I can still feel good about myself even if someone is angry with me. So I have this feeling that you're concerned that if you give yourself an actual outer makeover, that someone isn't going to like it. Like maybe there's someone that you're dating is like, I don't like that hair color on you. I like your hair better this color. And you're like, well, I like it this color. And they're like, well, I find you sexier. And it's like, who cares? This is your show. This is your life. Who cares? Or maybe you're somebody who's, been walking a certain path for a long time, and now you want to step out of, maybe you went to medical school and you're a doctor and you don't want to do that anymore. You want to do something else, but you're like, my parents will kill me. Do you know how much money my parents paid for medical school? And it's like, you cannot be concerned with what these people are going to think of you. And you have to look at your family and your friends as these people as well, because that's all they are. They're just, they're characters in your play. You know what I mean? Like, this is your show. This is your movie. You do not have to align with someone else's thoughts of you. This is your show. So you can still, oh, look at that. Oh, that makes me sad for you. Okay, you know what? I think I know what we need to do. We need to put you over here in the witches. I need to pull this back. So you can see, right? Because that's where the witches are. Nobody messes with them. You know why? Because we're truth. We are the truth, the light, and the way. You know what I mean? And that way, you think Jesus wasn't a witch of some kind? Witches are healers. That's all they are. Ooh, when I looked down, it was 33, 31. Interesting. You can take that for anything that you want it to resonate. I want to see if there's any more cards. Do we have any more? Oh, okay, this one just flew right off. Look at this. I can't tolerate pain and unpleasant feelings. Oh, shit. I get it. So this is your ego. Remember, this is the other side is your ego. So get out of the voice, and instead of saying that to yourself, say, I can. Or just say, I tolerate. I don't know how I can do this. Let me see if I can. But how about I tolerate pain and unpleasant feelings, right? Until it's no longer painful. Because if you say, I can't tolerate pain and unpleasant feelings, that means you're just pushing it away. That means you're saying, I don't want to heal it. And that's okay. You don't have to. But if you want to know why you're still where you are, or why you can't move forward, or where you need to go, that's why. Because this comes from healing fear, number 4. Right? And 4 is all about balance. With the help of a good coach, I can set goals and strive for success. This will lessen my pain and make me feel more in control. Yeah, because you're allowing other people to dictate your life right now. And that's exactly what's happening. Because if you're think about this right now. Whoever is controlling you or you feel like you're being controlled by, they're living their life, right? They're doing their thing, right? And part of their thing is controlling you. We're watching this show right now called The Unicorn. I highly suggest you rent it. If I remember, I'll put it, I always say to look in the description box below because I have like, recommendations from the reading. But if I remember, I'll put it below. And there's this character in there. I can't remember her name, but man, she's just always up in everybody's business. And she's just like, I care about everybody I love. And I'm like, I used to be like that. And sometimes we can overhelp. Stop trying to save the world. Just focus on yourself. Focus on your happiness. It doesn't make you selfish because you want to focus on your happiness. And if anybody else is telling you that, that's super, super manipulative and narcissistic and controlling. And lately, we've been getting a lot of stuff from narcissism in this pile. And it's because so many of us have been brought up by narcissists, controlled by narcissists, have been narcissists ourselves. We realize that it's a form and a condition. It's not something you're born with. You're not born with narcissism, So, and there's all different forms of it too, right? That's like another thing too. Like, it's not all bad. We need to have some form of narcissism to be able to like survive. That's what part of the ego is. Oh my God. Oh, Jesus, Baba. Oh my gosh, Baba. You scared the shit out of me. Oh, sorry, you guys. That's my familiar. That's Baba. So all of those of you who know Baba, she says hello. If you chose this pile, well, now it's pile, right? Maybe it is going to be pile card. I don't know. Anyway, right? And look at that, like no fear. Even that like scared. The only reason why that scared the shit out of me is because she's like a stealth warrior. I did not hear her at all. And I'm like in this with you guys and I'm kind of leaning forward and I have my readers on, my reader glasses, and there's like a place where she can like pop up next to me and like get up to the bed because the bed's above like where this reading is, like the bed's up there. We live in a tiny home. Anyway, so that was just really cute and super funny because I saw her reflection, and it looked like something was leaping towards me from the back. And because I am connected to all energies and entities and, that was Jet, by the way, that was burning. Wow, that was really powerful. It's like it wants to be cracked wide open. No, you guys got to see this. This is like really a trip. That's Jet. And research Jet. So that's your homework too. Wow. We got a lot of cool shit going on. Jet's really cool. Also up here, we have the Chevron Amethyst. We have Quartz Crystal and we have Jade. So far, since you're the first pile, I don't know if the other piles would be called to it, but those are crystals and stones for you to work with or that want to work with you. If you're not, no worries. And if you have them, work with them. But anyway, yeah, so I think that's it. I know they're kind of all over the place today and they're saying forgive us, but it's just there's a lot of messages, because a lot of us are in this. We need the flow of letting go, release. We have to let go of these old energies and these people in our lives. We have to let go so that we can, do our job. You came here to work. And if you're on this channel, you are a light worker. End of story, end of story. I said, I get excited when our numbers raise. But it's not because I'm like, oh, cool, I'm going to make money and look at me, I'm a YouTuber. It's like, no, because because my job is to help other light workers along their path, especially when they're having moments of, rejection upon themselves or deflecting away from their purpose. And, they just need a little guidance. We all have our moments, right? Where we're just like, fuck this. Like, I've done enough. Like, I'm good. Right. And then Spirit's like, but if you could just give a little bit more, but we have these check-ins with Spirit, it's funny. I was like, who needs therapy when I have this? Like, this is a form of therapy, right? It's like, I'm just here to channel your therapy for you, or for, it's like exactly right, So work with that. So these are so we're working with healing fear, living in society or not, but if you are, make sure that you're, I've lived in cities for years, but lived in cool little pockets of the city that wasn't super loud. The apartment was really old. Most of the buildings I ever lived in were vintage, and I did that on purpose because they were built. A lot of them were built back in the day where, there was cement between the floors. You couldn't hear people, walking above you or whatever. You think people, they were hardwood floors and all that. It's like, of course they knew that people were walking around and, so that makes a big difference, but if you're, maybe for some of you, it's time for you to get out of the city. So we're going to change the I can't tolerate pain and unpleasant feelings. We're going to switch that around to healing fear. With the help of a good coach, I can set goals and strive for success. This will lessen my pain and make me feel more in control. We're also going to work on I easily get scapegoated in my family and in other relationships. And you guys know why that's happening. They're scapegoating you because you're woke. And they're afraid to be woke, or they're woke and they don't want to admit it. You know what I mean? But you can't stick around and wait to see and hope, because it's not going to get better, right? I can still feel good about myself even if someone is angry with me. They're your family. They're always going to love you, right? And if they don't, then they were never your family at all. And that's okay, because you've got your soul family here, right here with us. Now your last one says, my voice can't be heard. What I have to offer doesn't matter. And Spirit's saying, oh, yes, it does. You wouldn't be here if it didn't. My unique voice is an authentic part of the life force that needs to be expressed. Without you, dear Pile 1, without you, we are nothing. We need you. Your very unique thumbprint, your footprint, your voice print, you know what I mean? Your imprintation, your whatever, if that's a word, right? You are meant to imprint on this earth. Now is the time. Now is the hour. You have the strength. So use your power. Okay, you guys, all of my information is in the description box below. And if any of you want to work with me one-on-one, you can email me at themagicalmedium@gmail.com. Either check out the links in the About section, or you can look in the description box below where you find the timestamps, unless you came here from the beginning. So anyway, all my other information is in the description box below, and I'll see you at the next reading. Blessed be. Oh, bye. So Spirit's being a little mischievous, because I could have sworn they said this was going to be a pick a card, and the first one was a pile. There was more than one card, so I guess we're just going to see if it is one card. I'm literally going to label them pile and card. Okay, here we go. So number 2. So this is the message from your higher self. Healthy love number 1. I now nurture others as much as I nurture myself. I am lovable even when I am not nurturing or giving someone something. Okay, so this is your higher self. This is what your higher self wants you to continue saying to yourself, that I now nurture others as much as I nurture myself. I am lovable even when I am not nurturing or giving someone something. But I'm hearing a little struggle there, right? Because there's somebody in your life is being a needy baby, greedy baby. Let me get in here. Because your ego is telling me, if I'm needed, I feel loved, appreciated, and accepted. So there's a dysfunctional relationship going on right now. We've got you. That's right. So because we've got one side. Now this isn't for everybody. Okay. But if it resonates, take it. But I'm feeling like there's a interesting dichotomy in one of your relationships, and it could be anything, right? Because this is a mass reading. So the energy that I'm getting is that, it's kind of like that codependent thing. So you feel better about yourself if someone needs you. And the person that is the other codependent person is a needy baby, greedy baby. And it could even be the other way around. Maybe you're the needy baby, greedy baby, and they're the, they need it, right? And so you guys keep playing this role over and over and over, and Spirit saying, oh, no, that's not healthy. Because a healthy relationship means that you take care of you first and then you take care of your person. And you know what? We're going to put it with the witch energy. Okay, hold on. And also I'm feeling this feels very controlling. So some of you, I just feel like this relationship is really, really, really controlling. If right now in this moment it feels parental, it feels like a parent, it feels like a parent who um and I don't know if it feels like the parent is single, and like, so either one of your parents died or your parents are divorced or whatever, but it's like the other parent, because it feels like this may be multiple people. It just feels really heavy and weighty, which is why you're not being able to like really do what you're meant to do, because you're feeling really, really weighed down. And that's why the witch didn't want me to cover her up. I thought she did, but she was like, no. Because you're super magical and powerful, and I feel like your family, for some of you, your family really feeds off of it too. They feed off of this kind of savior complex with you, you know. Let me see, what does this next card say? So this is ego, right? And you can even call it shadow, right? If I love someone, I need to take care of them if they're in pain or suffering. Exactly. See? You wouldn't do that to your mother, would you? Or maybe you're playing that scenario out in your head because, you haven't said it, but you're like terrified that it's going to be said. But another look at healthy love, number 4. Someone has to balance out this relationship. And you know what? Sometimes even the children, meaning like you, right? Even sometimes the children are more mature than the parent. There were many times where, I mean, my parents were 17 and 18 when they got together. And there were many times when I was like 12, when they were going through the divorce and they were like 36. I was like, geez, they were like children. And I was like, who is the parent here? So if I love someone who is in pain, I can allow them space if they need to solve a problem in their own private way. And also for some of you, this could be that you're smothering somebody. Are you smothering somebody who, you're like, because if they loved you, then you'd help them, take them out of their pain and suffering. And they're like, whoa, whoa, whoa. That's ego too, right? Thinking you can heal everything, fix everything, control everything. So there's a lot of control here. And this could either be coming from you or from this family member. For some reason, when they're together, I feel like they don't want to, or maybe Spirit just doesn't want it there. So we're going to leave that there. Okay, yeah, there we go. By the way, when this started, there was a rooster. So if you want to take some notes, I try to, if I remember, I put them in the recommendations, but I don't always remember, and they don't want me to write things down when I'm channeling. So, I heard rooster, and then just now I saw an image. I know it's not, but let me see if I can get a close up. But at the top of this card, it looked like a bat to me. Do you see this? It looked like a bat. And Spirit said, yes, yes, yes. So bat, spirit animal, and rooster, spirit animal. Well, it's really interesting. So far, pile number 1 had bird medicine too. So if you're drawn to pile number 1, you may want to go over there. But wow, that's really powerful. Okay, so let's see. Do we have any more messages for pile number 2? Pile number 2, do we have any more messages, Spirit? Any more messages? Okay. It's interesting. The other pile, they had me starting in, our higher self. And with you guys, I'm feeling it's the opposite. It's like they want to go to your ego first, because I'm getting the vibe that it's the ego is the issue here. Okay. So your ego is saying, now this is, remember we talked about the flow of let go, letting go, release. Okay. So this says, I can't get what I want no matter what I do or say. Well, that's a defeatist attitude. So of course you're not going to, you know what I mean? Like you're not going to get that. It's like, this is the time where you have to realize that this isn't just about loving yourself. This is about the law of attraction, and the law of attraction is very, very, very real. However, when I have been working through some shadow stuff and my dark night of the soul, all that, jazz, when I've been working with that energy, they had me put that out. Look at that. They like want to bring the smoke into there. It's blowing the smoke out of there, right? When we get stuck in our ego head, and say those things when we're in the darkness, it's like we're purposely deflecting, right? Because we're like, I'm not ready to heal that, so I'm going to make it as awful as possible. That's okay. That's where you are. But when you're tired of it, and when you're ready to stop playing the victim, and when you're ready to put yourself out there, really put yourself out there and say this to yourself, because this is living in society number 6. I can find the resources within me to be flexible, energetic, vital, and assertive. I lovingly go after and get what I need. I mean, think about that. Now, which one would you rather have on a loop in your head? I can't get what I want, no matter what I do or say. Victim, victim. Right? Because you're giving your power away. You're saying the whole world has power against you and you can't do anything, right? Or would you rather have this? I can find the resources within me to be flexible, energetic, vital, and assertive. I lovingly go after and get what I need. But you also take breaks. It's very important to take care of ourselves, you know? Living in society number 6. What does that mean for you? Pal number 1, we had a whole thing with that, but this one, what does that mean for you? Does that mean you need to be living in society? Does it mean that it doesn't feel good for you to be living in society? Or is it that you are allowing society to control your narrative? Right? You're letting society control your narrative because you're saying that I can't get what I want no matter what I do or say. Look at her. She's got everything. You can't use excuses like that anymore. The world's changing. It doesn't matter what size you are, what color you are, what sex you are, who you fuck, who you love. It doesn't, we're seeing that now. And the old paradigm is breaking down. So you can be whoever you want to be. You can find the resources. You just need to be a little flexible, right? You need to be energetic and vital and assertive. Once you know what you want, don't give up until you get it. Now, Spirit's saying for some of you, you need to take out of your mind what you wanted it to be, because that's what's holding you back from your resources. And here's your last card. If I'm needed, I feel loved, appreciated, and accepted. Wait, wasn't this your card? Did we have this one already? Sorry, you guys. I've been channeling for 52 minutes straight. Oh, yeah, we did. Oh, okay. Okay, so they're bringing it back to this. Okay. I see what's happening here. Right? So they're saying, in order for you to find, your inner magic, your inner witch, inner healer, inner guidance, this must be your new mantra. I now nurture others as much as I nurture myself. I am lovable even when I am not nurturing or giving someone something. It's your time. It's your dream. Remember the beginning and the end of Pretty Woman? What's your dream? Everybody came to Hollywood to have a dream. What's your dream? And maybe it is your dream to go live in Hollywood. It doesn't matter how old you are. As long as you're an adult and you can go, you know what I mean? Go. Don't allow anyone else to steal your thunder. Healthy love. You're going to get there by loving yourself. This card is not, oh, you guys, I love you so much. Will you please love yourself as much as I love you? Will you please love yourself as much as I love you? Oh, look at Grandma Rose is above you. Look at Grandma Rose is saying, can you please love you as much as I love you? She wants you to give yourself a nice mind-body makeover. Love yourself first. That's the only way you're going to get out of this one. To get to the flow of let go and letting go, you have to love yourself first. Right? That's what RuPaul says. If you don't love yourself first, how the hell are you going to love anybody else? Also, Grandma Rose said, look up Rose spiritual meaning, okay? And if you like roses or the scent of roses, work with that, okay? Okay, you guys, those are your messages. I hope they helped you. All of my information is in the description box below, and I'll see you at the next reading. Blessed be. Oh, bye. Okay, pile three. Okay, we have Healthy Joy 2. So on these cards, we have our higher self and we have our ego. So your higher self is saying, if my loved ones are in pain, I do not try to smother them with love, trying to make them happy. I can support them and allow them space to experience their feelings. Oh, that's beautiful. So this is what's happening though. So this is what you need to release and let go, because your ego is saying, if my friends or loved ones are unhappy, I do my best to make them more cheerful. It is not your job to make your kids, your friends, your boss, it is not your job to make everyone happy all the time. It is literally not your job. Happiness is an inside job. Some cliches are true because they're real, and there's nothing that you can do to change that. Whether they're going through a growth period, whether they're, never going to change, this is your life and you have to live it. So in this flow of let go, letting go energy, you need to release this like me, not wanting to disappoint people. You need to let that go. You need to let that go. It really is their job. Healthy joy too. So this is your mantra, and you may even want to take a screenshot of it. Let me see if I can get it steady. So let me get it. I always try to get it steady because I'm leaning across the table. Okay, take a screenshot of that. If my loved ones are in pain, I do not try to smother them with love, trying to make them happy. I can support them and allow them space to experience their feelings. Yeah. Also, you're taking away their experience. You're taking away their experience to these cards don't want to cooperate today. Oops. You're taking away their experience. End of story. That's what Spirit's saying. Like, I didn't realize that either until someone politely and lovingly pointed out to me that I was an overhelper. And I was like, how can you overhelp someone? She's like, you really can though. She's like, because people have to go on their own journey. And that's what everyone's here to do on earth. We're here to make mistakes and fuck up. It's part of the journey. It's how we learn. It's how we grow. However, if we're on the same, downward spiral, or on the same, Groundhog Day, doing the same shit over and over, it's different than if, you kind of step in and say, hey, you may want to look at this from a different angle. But asking people, Spirit's saying, ask people if they want your opinion, if they want your help, instead of just, buying them something and showing up at their door, or, I know that they haven't been taking good care of themselves. It's like, ask them what they really need. Because you never know. Sometimes what you think the other person needs is like, actually, maybe they just need a hug. Maybe they're just like, hey, can you lend me $20? It's just been a rough month, and, this happened and that happened. And it's like, sure, and if you can help them, then you do that. If not, you say, I can't in that capacity, but can I make you something? Or, can I have you over for a meal? Whatever it is. But maybe sometimes people just need to listen. They just need you to listen and not, try and fix it. Okay, so the next one is, I frequently find fault in myself. I'm not trying hard enough. Oh, no. This is like, I love you so much. You guys are so sweet. But listen, especially right now, I can, because right now I'm doing this in real time, where I'm in the heavy, dense energy of this full moon in Virgo. We've got a lot of heavy feminine energy right here. We've got Grandmother Rose in the background. We've got Mona Lisa energy. We've got the witch and the healer, divine feminine. We've got Lilith, the moon. There's so much energy. I feel like you guys need a good cry. And you know what? It would be really good for you to go and do something on your own. That's the problem. You know what? When we try too hard, that's when that's when we need to retreat. That's the warning, Will Robinson, where Spirit's like, no. If you're pushing yourself too hard, if you're going too much, let it go. Especially if you're in this week and you're watching this in real time. We just had the clock change. We lost an hour. This whole week has been intense. St. Patrick's Day, a full moon. We had Passover. There's other stuff happening astrologically, but I'm a medium. I'm not an astrologer. Sometimes I know. But right now it's like, I do know what's happening in terms of in this moment. And so I'm feeling you, and I love you, and just know that you are trying hard enough, but you don't need to try this hard. You know that old saying, try hard or smarter, try harder. Wait, try smarter, not harder, right? It's like the old adage, measure twice, cut once, because you know, healing anger 6. Okay, this makes sense. So we had healthy joy, number 2. So you get joy, right? I see this healthy joy back here. So you get joy by helping others, and that's wonderful. You know, that's part of your soul makeup, your beautiful souls. I love you. Empaths. I feel a lot of empath, sensitive energy. You guys are wonderful. But also, you're allowed to get angry and get pissed off. And if you don't, and you keep pushing that shit down, it's going to come out somewhere else, you know? And 6 can be whatever that means to you guys. But 6 is usually, after the hardship of 5, where things are starting to mellow out, starting to become more balanced. And also the first one was healthy joy 2, and 2 is a derivative of 6. So I love myself unconditionally. I accept both my strengths. Oh, and they just said, and 2 goes down to the lowest denominator. So yeah, which they're saying the lowest denominator is you. Like, you're spending too much time with a lot of people. Before I go forward, they're saying for some of you, this isn't going to be for everybody. Maybe you were in the lockdown and you really enjoyed it, and now you're back at work, or you're back in a situation, or family parties are happening again, or you have to go to a wedding and you're just like, oh my God, here it comes again. The onslaught of fucking shit to do, places to go. They're like, you don't have to go. You don't have to go. It's almost like there's an anger brewing up inside of you of like resentment, not towards their joy, but just like that you don't want to do all these things. And they're like, you don't have to, especially if they're people that, it's like, why are you keeping people in your life that even put any anger into your body? Think about that for a second. It's natural to be angry with your spouse or your friends or your family, right? But if you're feeling anger without even talking to somebody, you know what I'm saying, with that kind of energy, that's not good. So this says, I love myself unconditionally. I accept both my strengths and my flaws. Even though I love myself just as I am, I accept the parts of myself that need to change and grow. And I feel like you can't grow if you've got people over your shoulder that you feel like you're going to disappoint or piss off. Because look at this. I frequently find fault in myself. I'm not trying hard enough. I mean, that's fucking programming. Now I want you to flip the script and say, I work really hard. I am in a process. I'm after the transformation. I feel like some of you, maybe you finally have like let go of certain things or people, but you still got these like hanger-oners who, ooh, what was that? That don't want to let go, And anger is a very powerful emotion, right? As I'm like, what was that? Like, I just heard something. Might have been the farm cat. He likes to play over here outside. But that's a big deal. And one side you get healthy joy, and then you have healing anger. So for me, I'm like, that's one side of it. But the flip side of that, Spirit wants to say that they're very proud of you, because some of you have been finally loving yourself unconditionally and finally accepting your strengths and your flaws. And even though you're not perfect, you're like, I love myself just as I am, and accepting the parts of yourself that still need to grow and change, because we're always always a work in progress. Everybody is, right? So your last card is, this is the last thing to release. I won't be loved or accepted if I get angry or sad. Oh, see? That's what I felt from that. Exactly. It's like I feel like you're this joyful, loving fairy. You're like this beautiful, I'll bring my sparkle on, right? Like you're this sparkle. Where's my butterfly? I knew she'd want to come in. She's like, look at me, right? Like, here's your, like, la, 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 la. But then you've got this other butterfly that comes in. It's bigger than you. And look, it's broken. One side of it is broken off. And it's like, oh, you're so perfect. If you have people like this around you who are like, even though you're like, hey, I think you're beautiful just the way you are. And they're like, I don't care. I want to be like you. And you're like, but just be like you. Look at how cool you are. Look, now you have one side. It's like, I feel like that's who you guys are. And I feel like no matter how hard you try or whatever you do, it's not going to be the outcome you want it to be. And Spirit's saying, sometimes we just got to be ourselves. So if you're concerned that someone's not going to love you or accept you for being yourself, whether that's healing anger, whether that's, being your beautiful, sparkly butterfly, like whatever it is, you don't need that energy around you, because healthy relationships, look at that. Number 4 is all about balance, and healthy relationships are balanced. And look at, we've got 2, 4, 6. I express my emotions openly, willingly, and skillfully. And when they say skillfully, that means like that, maybe you want to keep your friends and family in your life, but you've been using this as a learning tool to, change your languaging, I kept doing that for years with some people, and it evolved and it was awesome. And other people, I was like, nope, it's not going to change. I'm not going to keep doing this dance. I'm out, because people do change. It's beautiful. It's wonderful to watch people change, right? To see that butterfly, like, just really, come into full capacity of self. So I express my emotions openly, willingly, and skillfully. And here, I want to show you something. Okay. So I was like, oh, it's too bad it didn't go like 2 4 6, whatever. But they're like, no, it's 6 4 2, because we're in the 6, we're healing anger, so we can have healthy relationships. 4, right? To healthy joy, 2. And in healing anger, I love myself unconditionally. I accept both my strengths and my flaws. Even though I love myself just as I am, I accept the parts of myself that still need to change and grow. I express my emotions openly, willingly, and skillfully. If my loved ones are in pain, I do not try to smother them with love, trying to make them happy. I can support them and allow them space to experience their feelings. It's perfect. All right, you guys, I hope you got the messages that you were looking for. All of my information is in the description box below, and I'll see you at the next reading. Blessed be. Oh, bye. Welcome, pile number 4. When I started, it was at 1 hour and 6 minutes, so to me it looked like 16. So if the number 16 means anything to you, or the number 7, you can research those on your own. So let's see. What is your... This is the flow of let go. We're in the full moon in Virgo energy. We're at the end of the Pisces energy, the end of the Pisces moon. Well, not the end of the Pisces moon, but the end of the, you know what I'm talking about. The end of Pisces. We've got a lot of changes going on. But I feel like with you guys in this flow of let go and letting go, Spirit wants to talk to you about healing sadness. Healing sadness number 4. I now have an opportunity to move through my fears of failure and can give birth to satisfying work, wealth, and relationships. So in this deck, we have what our higher self is telling us and what our ego, our fear, that, is telling us what we should or shouldn't be doing, what's holding us back. So this is what your ego is saying. So the ego is saying, since something ended, my life has gotten stuck in a rut. Okay. So since something ended, my life has gotten stuck in a rut. So you're stuck in a past life energy right now. Okay. So we need to heal that. We need to get through that. That's what you need to release and let go of. It's going to be different for all of you. Whatever hit, you know what I mean? Like, this is where you really need to listen to your intuition. Whatever pinged, you know what I'm saying? You know what it is. So on the flip side of that, Spirit's saying, I now have an opportunity to move through my fears of failure and can give birth to satisfying work, wealth, and relationships. Yeah, once you let this thing go, whatever this is, it's different for all of us. Since something ended, my life has gotten stuck in a rut. It's like, well, but, my friend's dad, when we were growing up, an old friend of mine, he used to, I'm paraphrasing, but he used to say, don't be sad that it's over, smile that it happened, or be happy that it happened, that kind of thing. So it's time to, you may even need to have, I just heard Spirit say, you may even need to have a funeral for it. Maybe it's something you need to go in a safe space and burn, maybe you need to write a love letter to somebody, and, you don't have to send it, but you're writing it for yourself. And if you want to, burn it in a safe space and let it go, because here we go, right? It's like, we need to heal that sadness, because once you do, then the opportunities are going to flow. You're not even going to realize, like, it's going to happen so fast, because you're going to be moving through your fears of failure. And, it's like the Tower moment in the tarot deck, right? It's like there's certain cards in the tarot deck that I used to be afraid of, and I think some people still are, that now I love, right? Like, we want those devil cards in the Tower moments, because, that's when the throat chakra, look, right? Like, I was speaking fine, all of a sudden I was like, what? That's when it's really grooving through us, right? We need to speak our truth. So whatever is in the past, it needs to stay in the past. This could be a person, a place, a thing, a job, a career. Also, I'm hearing for some of you, you are such talented artists. You can go in like 700 different directions and still be successful. Don't hold on to something that's over. Try something brand new or something you've always wanted to do. What have you always wanted to do? You know, it's interesting. I've said this before, and it's one of my favorite things. When I was first reading for people, I used to ask them, what did they want to be when they were 8 years old? And to watch them come alive, it was just so cool, you know? And a lot of times that's when people really find their true north, so to speak, is when they go back to their childhood, because our childhood says a lot about us, right? You know, we know when we're littles, we know what we came here to do. We had a mission, we had a soul contract from the time before we're born. We know exactly what's going to happen. Now we can divert from the path, right? That's our free will. That's our gift that we are given. But we're pretty much always going to end up in the same space. So, you know, it's just like, how do you want to live this? And also, I have to point out, I saw something recently, and somebody who's a really old guru, lots of followers, and I was like drawn to their thing and never even like, you know, watched their work or anything. And I started watching something and I was like, yeah, right on. Like, she's cool. Like, this is awesome. I was really into it. And then she said, um, you know, you something about you'll have to come back and learn it again. And she goes, and it'll be worse this time. It's always worse or something. And I was like, and I'm paraphrasing, but I was like, what? And in my intelligence, in my soul intelligence that, and my soul knowledge that I was given, and on my multidimensional travels and working with entities from, I know I work with at least, to up to the 12th dimension. I know that for sure. Anything beyond that, I don't know if I'm supposed to know, or if I do, I don't know. It doesn't matter. But in this world at this time and what I'm here to do, it's like I started to see things and I'm like, that's just, in my experience, is not true. It doesn't mean you're going to have a worse experience. No, I mean, if you really chose a tough path in this life and you're fucking tired and you're like, hey, I'd like to go about this in a more loving, gentle way. Can we do that? I'm done with that lesson now. I guarantee you they're going to put you in a different direction. And that's okay. And if you do come back in the next life to do it, it doesn't necessarily mean that. That's not necessarily true. Maybe in this life, you've got really great parents that are still married and you've never had that experience of having a broken home, right? You've never had to live in two places, have two bedrooms in two different houses, right? You've never had that. But in the next life, you're going to have a single parent and you're going to lose one of your parents. But you guys will make it and you'll have a loving parent still, but it's just going to be a little more tough, right? It's like, I'm just using that as an example. I don't know, right? But that's what I'm trying to say. It doesn't necessarily have to be that. And, I feel like people are getting this anxious energy, like they want to do something before they die. And it's like, don't worry about it. I mean, shit, you can die now, and if you really, really feel like in your soul that you have to come back here like that, then you will. Like it's between you and spirit, like what's going to happen, right? So, and time is just, it's such a man-made thing. And anyway, so when I looked down, it was 1303, which is 1133 too, or 1130, whichever way you look at it. So, or 130, but put the numbers together. But I'm just feeling a lot of powerful energy from you guys. And, it's like, look at this. I now have an opportunity to move through my fears of failure and can give birth to satisfying work, wealth, and relationships. So let go of that other shit, because it's not going to serve you in any way, right? I don't know what my true life calling is. Oh my gosh. I pulled the card, but I didn't. This is the other side, by the way. If you didn't watch, if you can watch the message for the collective and the prayer, I highly recommend you watch it. It was really cool. I was channeling some cool shit. Anyway, what did they just say? That's so funny. What did I just say about what did you want to do when you were 8? And what makes you happy now? Like, what makes you so jazzed? There's an old saying, like, you never work a day in your life if you're doing what you love. Right? Like, if you're jazzed to get up every day to go to your quote unquote work or how you make money, that's your calling. If you go to your job and you're miserable, but you can't wait to go home to do X, Y, and Z, write, paint, sculpt, you love medicine, You watch lots of, surgeries and you're like, I wish I could have been a doctor. And they're like, who says it's too late? It's like, no. Meditate, meditate, meditate. Meditation is key. Let me tell you, I found a really cool meditation recently. It was a meditation for the Ukraine, I believe it was, for peace. I've been listening to a few lately, so I'm not sure which one they're going to have me put down. But if that's the one, I not only did I feel peace for that, but then I also like let that go, where I was like, you know what, spirit's got that. I don't have to, my job is to just stay in a high vibration and bring love and light to, the universe. And, but it was just a really great meditation. But meditation would really help you in ask spirit, show me a sign, just ask your angels. That's what they're here to do. So that was your ego saying, I don't know what my life calling is, but your healthy goals, number 7 says, through contemplation, introspection, and completion, I can find out what my next step and true calling is. By attending to details and organizing my life, my vocation will become clear. Yes, you got to knock out the shit, right? Like, you got to let your magic, I like putting it on my little witchy, moon in Virgo, let the magic come in. Let the magic come for you. Don't push the magic away. Let the magic come in, because that's what I feel like. I feel like you do know what it is, but it feels far-fetched, right? Like you're like, oh, it can't be me. I can't. No. And they're saying, yes, 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 it can be you. Okay, so this is your negative saying, this is the ego saying, now that my children are grown, I don't know what to do with my life. Oh. And this could even apply for you. Maybe for you, you're like, maybe now that I'm grown, maybe you're in your 20s and you're like, I don't know, I still know what the fuck I want to do. They're like, it's okay. Just follow the breadcrumbs. Maybe your big thing isn't for another 10 years. Don't feel discouraged. Think, oh, cool. What am I going to do in the meantime? I'm 50 years old and I've moved 28 times in 50 years and I've lived in 5 states. And I have had a blast. Now I don't have children. But even if I did, I think I still would have been like that. But I don't know. Who knows? It's my triple Sag. I'm fire, fire, fire. My moon's in Scorpio water. So it's just like, I just want to keep going, flowing. So, it's the same question, right? I don't know what to do. What am I going to do when I grow up? And it says living in society, number 7. We got another 7. And I feel like I called out numbers earlier that came to the number 7 when I was talking about the 113s or the whatever. I don't know. Let me know if that was true. But living in society, 7, every phase in life brings its own unique joy and sense of purpose. This is interesting. In a lot of these readings, I've been getting like solo or go move out to the country, but this is the opposite. I feel like for some of you, either you're living in the city and you're thriving and you're like, wow, I actually really like this, but you almost feel kind of guilty that you like it. But they're saying, but listen, every phase in life brings its own unique joy and sense of purpose. Now that the masks are coming off and all that, and people are going to be able to roam freely. Thank you, male person. Look at that. Bye-bye. Look at, they're telling you to go. I'm feeling like for some of you, it's time to relocate. And can I tell you, I've been having a hard time keeping these cards to stay up. And look at that. I barely put that there. If you watched any of the other readings, you'll know. So you guys, stay strong and firm in what you are. That's really, you guys don't even know how powerful that is. Not only that, but if you add up 7, 7, and 14, or 4, 7 and 7 is 14 plus 4 is 18. And that's the number 9 when you add it together. And 9 means you're almost there. And, I was talking about this in one of the other piles. I loved being in the city. I liked the anonymity of it. I loved almost every city I lived in. I was by water or mountains or somewhere I can hike or climb or do something in nature. That was super, super important to me. And location that I could go by foot so I didn't have to drive through the traffic. And I haven't had a car now for like 15 years. It's been a little tougher living out in the country because I have to, rely on my partner a little bit more. But I'm telling you, there are ways to live in the city. Find out vintage buildings. There are a lot of vintage buildings that were, when they were built, they put cement in between the floors so that you couldn't hear anything, because they knew the sound of hardwood and creaks and all that. Nobody wanted to hear that. How, even, especially the rich people, a lot of the old buildings I lived in at one point were like, someone's house or like high society, kind of like flats, so to speak. So if you can afford to live in the city and you like it, then do it. You know, do something different. Maybe it'll like stir up some creative juices in you guys. And you know what? So far, I feel like you guys are getting like this kind of like, let me ask Spirit. I don't know if this is a bonus card for you or it's going to be a bonus pile. Is this a bonus card for them? Okay, so it's going to be a bonus pile. So if you want to stick around for the bonus pile, I'm going to do just one card for that. That must have been what they were talking about that I didn't understand. And now I do. Anyway, I hope these messages helped you in any way, you guys. I love you so much. Blessed full moon in Virgo. The flow of let go, letting go, release. Yes, release. It's time because we need you in your full power right now, my beautiful, beautiful light workers, my wayward warriors. Until next time, all of my information is in the description box below, and I'll see you at the next reading. Blessed be. Oh, bye. Welcome, loved ones. This is our bonus pile. I love bonus piles. We haven't done a bonus pile in a while. I had a feeling that we were going to do a bonus pile like this. So, okay. So healthy joy number 5. Okay. So this is what our higher self wants us to know. Okay. It's time we express joy and gratitude in our lives with the proper combination of passion and humility. And what they want us to let go of and get into the flow of let go by releasing this ego process in our minds. If I'm happy and successful and I talk about it, I'm being boastful and blowing my own horn. Okay, so listen, we've all had that, right? Where someone's like, oh my gosh, you're so conceited, or blah, blah. It's like, you know, whatever anybody wants to do, if that's who they are, that's who they are. But you know what? If you chose to look at this bonus pile, you are a beautiful, bright white light. Do you see that gorgeous owl in the background? You have the wisdom. Do you see the moon and the witch and the owl and the wolf? And we're going to look at Mona Lisa as the grandmother spirit. This is the feminine divine energy. Thank you, Grandma Rose. She came in the form of the owl up there with the roses on her. It's time for us to now really understand what a mind-body makeover means. It means we cannot let our ego control our purpose here. So, if I'm happy and successful and I talk about it, I'm being boastful and blowing my horn. No. If you have worked your ass off, if you love what you do, you be as boastful and happy as you want. Now, does that mean, you're going to put it in someone's face? No, because you're a loving light being and you're not here to smash someone's face. You're here to tread lightly. However, if you're a big energy, be as big as you want to be. Blow your own horn. You worked hard. And if you're a light worker here right now, which you are, if you found yourself to this page and on this reading right now, you worked really hard and you're still working hard every single day to be where you are. And there is absolutely nothing wrong. And I'm going to show my feelings and my emotions, a little bit of anger for us, and say, no. We're not going to let anybody tear down our freak flag anymore. We're not going to let them dull our beautiful white light that comes from the heavens, the stars, the universe. Look at that light, by the way. Do you see the light above it right here? I'm sorry, but do you see? That's from the candle back there, but Spirit just like drew my attention to it, right? Like the light is on us. We can't help it. We're happy, joyful beings, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's beautiful. We need it right now. The planet needs our light more than ever. So shine it brightly. Do not hold back. Now more than ever. Do it with grace, with gratitude. And, I'm hearing complicit and complacency are no longer needed. Yeah, you don't have to, you are who you are. So to stay in your healthy joy, number 5, which 5 is all about change and transformation. And can we just talk about this? I don't know if I'll be able to get it in this shot, but okay, let me get it in here. Look at that. It's the 5th cycle, the full moon in Virgo. It's the 5th cycle. Look, there's our angel number 2150. It's the 5th cycle. And look at that, healthy joy number 5. How we find healthy joy is by expressing our joy every day. She's so cute, the grandmother energy. I'm like, I don't want to cover her up. Yes, it's by expressing joy and gratitude in our life every day. And it's a proper combination of passion and humility. You can still toot your horn without being a dick about it. You know what I mean? It's like, because the healthy joy is like, we just want to be happy. I mean, the last few days, I've just been so like, I've been really drained by the moon and I've been a little moody, but most of it I've been happy. And I feel a little bad for my partner because like some moments he's like, are you okay? I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. Why? And I realized like 2 minutes before I was like, oh gosh, I'm like, what a jerk or blah, blah. And then a few minutes later, I'm like, oh, I'm like, that's so cute. I'm like, I'm so happy. And I was like, I'm so sorry. But it's like, I'm so, as an empath, I'm just really affected by the moon cycles. And if you're affected by the moon cycles too, you're not alone. So, you know, express your joy and gratitude in your life. Now, I don't know if I'm thinking we're just doing one card, but I feel like I will always at least go through the deck one more time to make sure. Is this it, Spirit? Just one card for the road? Was just this one card for the road? Okay. It's just one card for the road. Just want to make sure. Yep. Okay. That's it. All right, you guys, I love you so much. I hope this reading helped you in any way. All of my information is in the description box below, and I'll see you next time. Blessed be. Oh.